Hello, everyone. So, today's topic, we're playing this game. It's a new game for us called Ghost Blitz, and it was a really fun game, kind of action-packed. There's some decision-making involved, and we had like a really good session that was kind of intense. Plus, we had some kids with us and stuff. So then we got into a discussion about how to modify games to make them like quote-unquote better games. But the question is, what constitutes a better game, right? So. Like, in my opinion, like, funny. I like laughter in games. I like the pace to be a certain pace. There's like a feeling of like accomplishment, you know. Like the winning and losing, in my opinion, not as important. But the idea of completing a game and then like, yeah, there's something like that. So, what do you guys think? Like, what constitutes a good game? How do you change games to make them better? Do you have any experience with? This game should be done this way instead of this way for this reason, you know? Yeah.
I think if everybody involved is having a better time than they normally do playing any normal game, then I think that's really what makes a game great, and especially a game for all ages, you know? I know some of the littler kids wanted less people to play because it's a little bit easier with this game. But I think the more people, the merrier, and it made it a lot more intense, a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And
also the kids were doing well. Like
yeah, they were.
It's not like
they beat me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat me.
Yeah. But you know they probably weren't doing as well as maybe they wanted to do.
Right.
So, because normally sometimes when we teach kids games, you know, we kind of they like to dominate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah.
I think a good level of adrenaline is good for a game. Like whether it be like adrenaline of like readiness or adrenaline of like strategy. Like if you're waiting for someone to play and then it might mess up your moves, you don't know if they're gonna like play. I think it's more of like internal adrenaline that makes a game really good.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, if it's slow or fast paced. Because that can be a fast paced game, you have to be on your feet. But then there's also other games where you have to like focus and like your plan getting messed up could get into your head and make it more interesting of
like
what you want to do.
Like some games, there's time to cool off, and other games you can't stop. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, next card. Okay, next
But
card.
it makes
Next
it even more
card.
exhilarating though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, cause this was one game we have in the house among probably a dozen games or so.
A lot of games.
But of all the games, we gravitated toward not just this game, like maybe 2 or 3 games. But this one, for whatever reason, we connected with it, or this group did, you know, for a myriad of reasons.
Right.
Yeah, and so, but then even for us, we tried to modify it
Yeah.
for ourselves.
Right, and even making like a life-size version.
Yeah.
You know, having all these pieces, I think that's brilliant. And I was even making the point if we had like a tarp with soap and water, and it was just like everybody turn around. Oh, I mean, that would be great, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
like church events.
And I think
Party.
even in the game that we just played, like kind of the big game of like the most people so far this week and like the most fast paced. Even in the middle of the game, we were like slightly modifying different parts between rounds to try to make it more conducive to how it works best for all the group.
You're right.
You know, like we had these rules about okay, if you put it back, you have to put it back in a certain way. If you're holding it, then like. We had a referee, kind of, right?
Which is nice because, you know, people tend to, you know, slip
Yeah.
up a little bit, you know.
So even in the game, there was a little flow of, all right, like this part's going well. There was a time when like the kids had like a real nice period of honesty with themselves and each other in the group, you know, which was a bit, which wasn't the norm. That was more the exception.
Yeah.
But in the other times, and we were trying to kind of help them referee themselves, and when they were refereeing themselves, then we didn't have to do much.
Right.
So.
Makes it easier for everyone.
Yeah. So that's it. I guess. Any other thoughts or words about this game or any other? This is kind of.
Board games are always like a classic thing. Like looking at video games, there's always like on a screen you can weigh your eyes out, and then like I feel like when you're playing board games, you're more in tune with like people around you, what's going on, like kind of on the on the table.
It's kind of like
It's a lot more interactive.
it's a lost art.
Yeah.
I think you know for the same reasons people like any other activities or vocations or hobbies or whatever. There's those reasons for liking certain types of board games.
Right.
Right. And I guess that's it.
That's it.
Well,
Well,
bye.
Bye.